ladies and gentlemen, you're at Pullman, Washington, and the bright lights and the stars are out on the Palouse. Washington State 15-6. They welcome in Haley Jones and Cameron Brink and the second-ranked Stanford Cardinal tonight. They are 21-2. And look, the brand new edition of Slam Magazine, the All-Americans on the cover, Jones and Brink. And welcome courtside here at Beasley Coliseum, Greg Heister, Angela Taylor. What an important time of the year. Washington State trying to build that resume to the NCAA tournament. Stanford trying to keep it rolling.
February is when teams with NCAA tournament championship aspirations separate themselves from the pack. For Stanford, they don't want to just get into the tournament. They are a legitimate championship contender. And for Washington State, they've made it to the tournament the last 2 seasons. They're trying to get the third straight time in the tournament. But they don't want to just get in the tournament. They want a nice seed.
Yeah, no doubt. Cameron Brink for Stanford might be as fine a player as there is right now in all of college basketball.
There's been a lot of greats that have come through Stanford. Cameron Brink has a chance to be one of the best ever play for the Cardinal. She's such a versatile player. Last weekend against Oregon, she had a triple-double, 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 blocks. With 7 blocks in the first half. She's expanded her perimeter game, able to shoot the ball from the perimeter. And the way that she just defends the paint, she's such an intimidating force and is unlocking so many things and bringing a lot of fierce competition to the Stanford Cardinal.
And look, when Charlize Ledger-Walker's on the floor for Washington State, they're tough out. 15-2 when she plays.
One of only two players in the country that is averaging the most points and assists for her team. Charlize Ledger-Walker, it's great to have her back. She's able to do so many different things, and the evolution of her offensive game with the 3-ball has really opened things up for her, able to get to the rim and create for herself and others. One of her best skills, Greg, is her ability to pass. She makes the difficult pass look easy, and we'll need to see a lot of that today in this game.
I told you the stars are on the Palouse tonight, but she's got help. Cammie Etheridge with some depth.
Cammie's talked a lot about the necessity to have other players stepping up. And 2 of those players, one is Tara Wallach. The sophomore's doing a great job. She's able to shoot the ball from 3, post up smaller guards, and is playing well defensively. And then Astera Tahina, she's been playing with pros since she was 14 years old. She's such a mature player. Her game is so mature. She has the ability to get to the rim. Defensively, she's effective. She's had averaged 2 steals over the last 10 games, and she's shooting the ball from the 3-point line, particularly well, shooting 46% over the conference play.
This is a really good Washington State team tonight. A chance for an opportunity of a lifetime. Can they take down number 2 Stanford? Starting lineups, the tip-off when we come back. The Cougars have never defeated Stanford. Can they get it done tonight? And ladies and gentlemen, you're back in Pullman, Washington. We've been waiting for this game all week. Number 2 Stanford on the road to take on the Washington State Cougars here at Beasley Coliseum. This Cougar team 17-2 since the start of the 21-22 season when Charlize Ledger-Walker plays. Jones, Brink, Nopu, Jump having a great senior year for Stanford, and I think Tara Vanderveer has found herself a new point guard, and Delana Lapolo, the freshman, having a great first season. Tedar, when she gets to double digits, Washington State wins games. Ledger-Walker, Bella Murray-Katete now on that Leslie Award list, made it to the top 10. So she's an important player tonight. Cammie Etheridge, of course, the head coach of the Cougars. What is the key to the game tonight for either of these teams, Andrew?
For Washington State, transition defense. When Stanford is able to get the rebound, Haley Jones is such a great rebounder, leading the Pac-12 in rebounding. She's able to grab the rebound, get out in transition, and then look for Hannah Jump spotting up in the corner. So transition defense will be really important for Washington State to limit those opportunities. And for Stanford, their offensive execution continues to be a focus area for that team.
And there is Tara Vanderveer going for her 1179th career victory tonight. All right, Washington State basketball to begin. Greg Heister, Angela Taylor, we're courtside at Beasley Coliseum. Stanford has never lost to Washington State. They're 71-0, and the Cougars begin with a turnover.
Every day is a new day.
That's true, Angela. The Cougars are hoping to put a positive spin on that number here tonight. There's Jones. Brink at the elbow. Hannah jumps some contact there. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Jones poked away by Tedder. Grabbed out of the air by Wallach.
Great hands by Tedder right there.
And And now Tara, the bounce. Bella Muricatente right at Cameron Brink. And a block number 1 of the game for Cameron.
That's why she's so intimidating. She had great footwork right there.
And then the block at the other end. And we're going to see 2 great defensive teams go at it tonight, Angela.
It's going to be a block party. You have Muricatente, who's a great shot blocker. Walling, who's a great shot blocker.
And it was funny, you know, that 71-0 streak that's owned by Stanford. Coach Vanderveer did not want to talk about that today. She said, I don't even know what the number is, and I don't want to hear about it.
Well, this is a new team, and it's a new day, so they need to take this game for what it is, and both teams need to show up and be ready to play.
And conversely, Cammie Etheridge is like, look, I haven't been here for many of them, so I don't want to talk about it either. Nobody wanted to talk about 71-0.
And both teams off to great starts defensively.
Bella feed to Wallach, but defense there for Stanford. She's tied up. Possession arrow gets it to the Cardinals.
Great job there by Lopolo, who came down and helped side. It was there for that dump off. You see right here, take a look. Bella had a good idea to pass it to Wallach, but there was help for Cameron Brink.
And it's Washington State basketball. Stanford gives it back. Neither team with a good start offensively.
Yeah, Washington State slowing it down, trying to get into a specific play call right here.
Tedar. Charlize Letcher Walker from downtown. That's where her game's gotten better.
She did shoot the ball well against Arizona, so it's good to see the ball go through the hoop in her first shot attempt today.
Now with 39% from behind that line on the season. And a jump. This is a deep 3, no shot. Foul away from the ball, and this will go against Stanford.
Right here with Washington State, take a look at this replay. Ledger Walker's been really aggressive from the 3-point line and shooting the ball confidently, which is one of the things that we didn't see from her in the past.
That's true. Foul called on Agnes Emma Nobu, her first, the junior from Victoria, Australia. Ledger Walker with it again. No look pass. Motuga turns down the 3. And that foot hit that sideline, another turnover.
We see Charlize Ledger Walker looking at Mutuga right there and saying, shoot the ball. That was an exceptional pass. One of the things that she does so well is know when her teammates are open and hit them on time and on target. And Mutuga just needs to take that shot up.
5 turnovers now between Stanford and Washington State. At this rate, we might not get out of the 30s. Jones skip pass, good catch. Bolo now goes to work on Tedder. Oh, it's open in the lane. Turn down the shot. Jones to the post. Here's Brink. Squares on Muricatente. Cameron wanted a foul, doesn't get it.
That's one of the things that Brink is doing well. She's able to catch the ball in the post, face up against a taller defender, and go right up.
Muricatente bothered by Brink. She doesn't block them all. She makes it very difficult every time, it seems.
Brink has gotten much better at just getting a good position and not trying to swat every shot.
Dimitri, number 21 on the floor for Stanford. Brink squares again. That one's short from the free throw line. Rebound, Charlize Ledger Walker. Tenor with it for the Cougars into the corner. Wallach's 3. Way off. Brink had it, ran it down. Back comes Stanford. Haley Jones looking for her first bucket. Boy, so smooth.
Washington State did not pick up ball. They picked up the ball late. Haley Jones was able to walk into a jumper at the free throw line.
Yeah, you can't let her get that deep, right?
Yeah, pick her up earlier.
Charlize Ledger Walker. Polo there defensively. Charlize to drive Brink there to shut it down. Motuga. Deep 3 on the way. Jump and Tedar battle for the rebound. Foul called on Johanna Tedar.
See, Haley Jones is so deadly in transition. One of her best traits is passing the ball. But the defense didn't pick her up until she got well inside of the 3-point line, and that is where she's comfortable with that 10-foot jumper.
Yeah, you got to force the ball out of her hands or make her shoot it from deep. She got to her spot on the floor, didn't she?
She did, and one of the reasons was because of the floor spacing. Both Dimitri and Hannah jumped, spaced the floor, and you have to honor that as well.
To the post. Now Jones squares on Wallach. Turnaround goes. Haley Jones, so good. So fun to watch.
Haley's been struggling a little bit recently. Teams are laying off of her and tempting her into taking jumpers. They're finding her spots on the floor. She's taking shots where she's comfortable.
Kiki Irioff, number 44 on the floor for Stanford. Charlize Ledger Walker in the paint. Too hard. Jessica Clark has it ripped away by Erie Offit. Back comes Stanford. This is India Navarre, number 12 on the floor for Stanford as well. Erie Offit, little off balance, leaner goes.
One of the things that makes the Stanford team special is the depth that they have in the post. They have 6'4", 6'5" players that are so versatile and able to score in a myriad of different ways on the low.
Cougars scored first. Since then, Stanford on an 8-0 run, lead at 8-3. Clark wanting the ball inside. Ledger Walker lost the grip. Jones picks it up. Stanford looking for a bigger lead. Again, the spin to the middle. Erie Offit grabbed it out of the air, and she's fouled. Free throws coming, possibly. 4:37 to play in this first quarter. Stanford up by 5. And welcome back. Life in the Pac-12. It seems, Angela, every night there's a top 10 matchup. Started with South Carolina, Stanford early on.
One of the things that the best conference in the country, the Pac-12, has done is scheduling. These coaches want to play the opponents in the preseason and non-conference play to get them ready for the Pac-12 conference play, because the Pac-12 is a gauntlet. It is so tough to go through this conference, and both of those things, conference play and non-conference challenges, are getting them ready for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and net ranking by conference, you see Pac-12 at the top, but that's not surprising to us. We see these games every night, right?
8 teams in the top 35 or 40 in net ranking, and they're playing tough schedules. They're quality teams, and recruiting is top-notch. No wonder that the Pac-12 is one of the best conferences in the nation.
And literally stars on the floor every night. Kiki Iriafen at the free throw line, the sophomore from Los Angeles, part of the Pac-12 all-freshman team a year ago. It's both free throws. That foul was called on Tara Wallach, and Stanford up by 7 on a 10-0 run.
Both teams using their bench early in this first quarter.
I think Washington State's got to get Charlize Ledger-Walker a shot here. They try to go backdoor to Stera, but that pass is off, and it goes to Stanford. Another turnover.
Ledger-Walker has Stanford's attention. They put 2 of their better defenders on her for the majority of this first quarter because they know they don't want to let her get going early.
Very often forced to get the ball out of the post. Back to Jones. Dimitri. Jump. Open 3. Off the front of the rim. Motuga. Great box out.
Great box out right there by the front court for Washington State.
Ledger Walker with the basketball. Clark there to set the screen. Stanford defense so good. Motuga turned down the 3 to the post. Tough pass for Clark. Grabbed by Haley Jones. Turnover number 6 against the Cougars. Iriafen poked away. Charlize Ledger-Walker called for the foul.
It's a great look by Stanford right there. They saw Iriafen had the mismatch. He had a small on her in the post. Ledger-Walker does a nice job with post defense typically, but she was right behind Iriafen. Once she caught the ball, it was going to be a tough task for Ledger-Walker to try to stop her.
So 6 turnovers against Washington State. They've got to shore that up if they hope to have a chance to win tonight. Iriafen back at the line. Now 2 of 3 for the game.
One of the things that's underappreciated about this Stanford team is they're one of the better defending teams in not just in the Pac-12 but in the country. They do a nice job of playing solid defense. They aren't turning the ball over as much this year, but they play solid defense.
Cougars off to a 1 for 7 start offensively. Stanford conversely 4 of 10, but they got off to a slow start first couple of possessions. Since then, they've been spot on. Here's Ledger-Walker with the basketball, Tedar, and Jones with a huge size advantage there defensively. Stera now will direct traffic. Tahina the drive. Ledger-Walker's 3 is off. Bella Murakatete and Brink were tied up. No whistle.
Ledger-Walker a little bit off balance on that shot, but inserting Tahina into the lineup allows Ledger-Walker to play off ball a little bit, and let's see if she can get her offense going.
Jones looking for another bucket. Here's Brink. Squares on Bella Murakatete. A lot of body poked away, foul called on Bella Murakatete. That's going to be a matchup throughout the game we're going to watch.
We are definitely going to have to watch that matchup between Murakatete and and Cameron Brink. Mercatete got a little bit too aggressive on this play. Good position right there, but she starts to get a little handsy, using her hands and forearm there, and then she reaches in at the last minute.
Number 1 on Bella. Jones with it again.
One of the things that you see here is Stanford is so big on the perimeter that some of Washington State's guards are having to guard bigger players, and they're trying to post them up.
Jump, catch and shoot. Rimmed out Wallach.
Great box out by Washington State.
The rebound, that's deflected out. But it belongs to the Cougars. Okay, they've got to get their offense going. 1 of 8 now. Who's it going to be? Dahina to Tedar. Wallach. Jump flies out. Wallach step back 3 off the front of the rim. Cougars cold. From behind the line now, 1 of 6 to begin. And Haley Jones from the elbow, jump shot again. Can't let her get there. Can you, Angela?
Haley Jones, great players are able to find their spots, and Haley has been able to do that early in this first quarter.
Jones off to a 3 for 4 start, 6 points. Stanford's lead is at 10. Wallach pinned under the backboard. And again, right now, Stanford like bees buzzing around the ball. And it's picked up. Navarre, the drive, left it short. Jones on the follow. Brink with it, shot up and good. Stanford just out hustling Washington State, the more physical team right now.
Stanford is dominating on the boards. They're plus 16 on the season in the rebounding margin. And you just see one of the things that they're able to do. Cameron Brink's versatility is such a key defensively. It really unlocks their defense because she's so mobile.
And I tell you what, they've been swarming on the defensive end, and then Jones able to put the ball in the bucket at the other end.
Haley Jones is much better off the dribble with her shot. She's had a lot of early success. And then once Stanford is able to get out in transition, you have Hannah Jump finding her way to the three-point line. Navarre really aggressive take, and then they're crashing the boards. Washington State needs to get back defensively and box out.
Yeah, right now Stanford playing with tremendous energy. This is the first of a 4-game road trip basically that they're on, and they were talking about being road warriors today at shoot-around, and they're off to that kind of road warrior mentality in this game.
Stanford's February schedule is going to be quite difficult, so they want to get off to an early start here at the beginning of the month.
Mercatete hand off to Tedar, and again jump right there to poke it away. Nothing coming easy right now for Washington State, and a foul away from the ball. And I believe this is on Hannah Jump, number 33.
Again, I'm going to harp on this. Cameron Brink's ability to switch out on some of the pick and rolls to be able to defend the guards is something that sets this defense apart. There's not a lot of post players that have that lateral quickness to be able to stay with and match up with quicker guards.
She's lost it off that left hand, trying to get it to Tedar. And it's off of Jump, so possession remains with Washington State. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Cougars desperately need a bucket right now.
Look for Washington State to continue their offensive motion. They're not going to be able to attack the rim. Cameron Brink has such a presence there, but take some jump shots.
Brink runs down that miss from Tedar. Washington State now 1 of 7 from downtown, 1 of 10 overall, 3 on the way short. And Hannah Jump. Right now Stanford earning every loose ball.
3-point shots, those long rebounds are difficult to get, but Washington State needs to box out because Stanford is such a great rebounding team from the offensive end.
Dimitri to Jones. Haley, jump hook. Bella Mercatete. Cougars 1 for 10. Charlize Letcher Walker 1 of 3 to begin. Nice bounce. Mercatete, though, missing at the rim. Wanted a foul, won't get it. And now Stanford can play for 1 here to end the first. Remember, it was the Cougars who scored that first field goal. Stanford has outscored them since 15-0. Cameron Brink. Jones. 3 on the shot clock, or the first quarter clock. Jump. Shot on the way off. And we go to the second quarter. Washington State 1 of 11. Stanford 6 of 18. And it's a 15-3 start for Stanford. Our friend.
Yes, please get involved. Do what you can. all of us in some way, shape, or form are going to be affected by breast cancer. And so what Tammy's doing is remarkable, and let's get a lot of rebounds in the month of February.
And she's working tonight for this network. Grace Sarver on the floor for Washington State. They need a spark.
Stanford's length is so effective defensively. Get another push off on Ula Matuga, looks like there on the block as she's trying to post up.
Yeah, foul number 1 on her. Ula did not agree. Ula's on the floor to be physical. Dimitri. Here's Brink. There's a 3 on the way off the front. Tara Wallach the rebound. Polo could not find the range. She's 0 for 2 to begin in the game.
Washington State now without Ledger Walker on the floor.
Kahina left it short. Long rebound. Wallach with the bounce. Motuga. Spin. And it drops.
That's where they were going for. You could tell out of that timeout they wanted to go to Motuga on the low block against smaller guards, and it was effective on that last play.
Motuga off that 16-point, 5-rebound, 3-assist effort. Playing at her final year for Washington State. Boy, there's a foul on Brink, a moving screen. Johanna Tedder took it like a champ, though.
It's one of those things that you want your guard. It looks like Hannah Jump came off that screen and didn't give a lot of space for Johanna. She took that screen like a champ.
Cameron with her first foul. Here's Sarver. Jones not respecting her 3.
Stanford, because of their length, they're able to take a step or 2 off of the perimeter players from Washington State.
That shot for 3 is off. Brink with the rebound on the move. Here's Hannah Jump, far side. Tedar jumps out at her.
How about your 6'4" post player starting to break and running the floor?
And the thing I also impressed by Haley Jones, the All-American, obviously well aware of the scouting report. And Brink can't get the little post move to go. And now Washington State, they can score here, perhaps some momentum. Kahina will set up the offense. Ledger Walker will be checking back in for the Cougars' next whistle. Here's Motuga. Defense swarming. Sarver unable to reel that in. And turnover number 9 against Washington State.
Tell the Stanford team defensively, one of their focus areas was to not let Washington State get into their offensive flow, to be disruptive. And Washington State is still a little bit apprehensive to take shots. They're not quite sure where they're going to get their open looks from.
No flow.
There's no flow at all.
And Stanford is just making every pass and every shot really difficult right now. And another foul. Is this on Cameron Brink? I believe it is.
It's a little bit late on that call by the official, but it certainly looks very similar to the last call on the screen by Cameron Brink. That's a big play right there. Cameron Brink has done a good job of staying out of foul trouble right here. You see Jump again. They're trying to get her off of this flare screen, and Brink just slides a little bit over and gets called for her second foul.
So she's got to go to the bench, replaced by Ashton Frechtel, number 11. Ashton may play on the post, but this is a sharpshooting big for Stanford.
She's one of the better 3-point shooters in the conference for sure. A couple years ago in their NCAA championship run, she played a huge role, and her 3-point scoring ability was one of the things that unlocked Stanford's offense at crucial times.
Foul called on Polo, but Frechtel put a cap on that story. 65 threes since her freshman year. Second best number in the country for players 6'5" and taller. 6'5" and with that feathery touch from downtown. Contact over there on the far side, no whistle. Ledger Walker trying to get by at LaPolo. Good defense. The reverse drops.
Great patience by Ledger Walker. Great patience right there. She didn't look like she had an opening, but she took one extra dribble. A lot of players will get antsy.
And then Haley Jones dropped the shoulder, missed it, got it back, shot up and good. Stanford leads it by 10 again.
Second chance points are going to play a role in this game. Washington State needs to box out.
I think that's what gets overshadowed sometimes by Jones and Brink, is how physical this Stanford team is with the 2 All-Americans. It's not all glitz and and Claire, right? Like they go to work. Ledger Walker missing inside. Rebound. Motuga blocked by Brechtel. And that's off of Stanford. It's Washington State ball. You look at that photo and you're like, okay, well, it's probably all skill, right? And then you see him on the floor and you're like, no, it's some brawn in there as well.
They have it all. Both have really unique traits. Haley Jones is one of the best passers in the country. Cameron Brink, again, offensively and defensively, but her ability to block shots is a rare trait.
And that move a minute ago to the bucket by Jones as Bellamar attempted a spin, left her open, and now Washington State finding some traction. Back to within 8. There's Jones. Tedar stepped in front of that pass from Dimitri. Step through. Blocked by Dimitri. Foul called. And free throws coming for Johanna Tedar.
Really aggressive play and transition by Tedar. Great job anticipating the pass, getting in passing lanes, and then attacking the rim. This is something Washington State is actually, they're going to get to the free throw line quite a bit here in the second quarter. Will that allow them to chip back at this Stanford Cardinal lead? And
Tedar, 19 of 24 on the season, a 79% free throw shooter. That one rims out. I normally don't go to the statistics from the free throw line this early in the game, but down 17-9 in what we figure to be a low-scoring game, these are all going to be important. 1 of 2 for Tedar.
For Washington State, they haven't seen the ball go through the rim early in this game. To get some success at the free throw line may give them a little bit of confidence as the game goes along.
Kiki Urioff and checking in. Averages about 8 points a game. 4 rebounds. Fran Belibi, number 5, in there as well. Wanting the ball right now. That's the thing. Stanford, when they go to the bench, they bring even bigger players in. 6 on the shot clock. And a whistle and a foul. The drive by Emma Nopu.
It's a great decision by Emma Nopu. Washington State isn't necessarily respecting or honoring the perimeter's shooting for Stanford, and so you're going to have to attack the gaps, get to the middle of the key to try to open up and force the defense to rotate.
Foul called on Tedar. That's her second. Johanna will stay in the game for the time being. Here's Belibi at the elbow.
Again, Ledger Walker guarding Urioff, and can they get the ball into the post?
Jones from the free throw line connects, and she'll shoot an extra. And again, they're allowing Haley Jones to get to her spot.
Again, for the elbows, that is where she's making a living right now. Haley Jones gets the ball, a nice pick on the ball, creating just a little bit of space. Just a little bit of space is all Haley Jones needs. And Bella close out a little bit late right on the jump shooter. You don't want to close out late and come into their landing zone.
And it's, you know, the mentality of a player like Haley Jones. She sees the mismatch and she knows this is my moment in this game. It's my turn to get it done. And
well, Haley, there's been a lot of chatter recently about her inability to shoot from the perimeter. But you can see it's not really affecting her in this particular game.
No, that mid-range game is on here tonight. Haley now with 11 points, 5 of 9. Washington State needed that. That trims it back to 7.
Tahina with a big 3. She's been shooting the ball well in Pac-12 play, 46% from the three-point line.
Belibi squares. Shot up. Boy, stayed with it. Great composure on that finish.
Quick first step by Fran Belibi on that move.
Cougars 4 of 8 in this quarter. After that 1 for 10 start. Great feed. Bella Muricatete left hand. She'll shoot free throws. Foul called on Belibi. Stara Tahina, one of the many talented freshmen in this game, partner.
She is shooting the ball well from the three-point line. This big 3 to cut the lead to 22-13. Stanford's up.
Heading up Las Vegas. And honestly, you can't make the NCAA tournament. You're going to see the best players in the country in Vegas if you go there.
Every game in the Pac-12 tournament promises to be quite competitive.
Look at the standings.
Yeah. You know, a couple things that are standing out right now. You certainly know that that's top tier, but there's only a game that separates Washington State from 4th place in this conference. Every game matters, particularly when you're playing at home. Can you steal some home games against the teams that are in the top 5?
Yeah, there's so many good teams, but just so many great players. One's at the line right now. Bella Murikatete, 2 points. Her first chance for the
really
line.
Aggressive here in the second quarter, getting on the low block and battling on that low block, trying to get a look.
Yeah, if you have any chance of defeating Stanford, you're going to have to bring some resistance defensively down on that low block, because Stanford, they play inside out. They're so good down there, so big and talented, of course.
Well, and Washington State's defense is great. Stanford is shooting 0% from the three-point line. They have not made a three yet, and a prolific three-point shooting team. So their defense is good. They just need to defend the paint.
There's a travel. Navarre took a step. Lauren Betts on the floor for the Cardinal. I'm interested to watch her. This is
the post step continues.
Yes. One of the big-time recruits from a year ago. Freshman from Centennial, Colorado, wearing number 51. All 6'7" of her. Tahina handoff. Wallach. Good touch. Carol Wallach.
Wallach's first points of the game. She's had a great couple of weeks, and so let's see if she can start to get to go and they can get her going in the offense.
Cougars back to within 6. There's Betts with the basketball.
Stanford with the Twin Towers. They've been playing small for the last couple of weeks. Let's see what they're able to do with 2 post players.
Jones may have just turned it over and did. Wallach left it for Tedar. Johanna runs it down. And possession remains with Washington State. Gary Offit guarding the ball, and now Ledra Walker with it. Clark sets the screen. Tahina. And what, we have a 3-second call inside, I believe. No, foul call. And that's on Jessica Clark.
Looks like Clark had a guard switch out on him. They switched that screen, and so she had a small on her, but she got a little bit too aggressive and hooked the defender.
Yeah, Brooke Dimitri back on the floor for Stanford. Feed to the post. 3 on the way. Bingo. Downtown. India Navarre.
Stanford's first three-pointer of the game. Nice in-and-out play right there. Lauren Betts comes off the bench and makes a great pass.
Tedder now with a drive, free throw line jumper. She's fouled by Hannah Jump. And that'll be number 2 on Hannah.
Washington State had done a great job up to this point, but take a look at this replay again. Lauren Betts was doubled, felt the double, and kicked it right back out to Navarre for a three-point jumper.
But an open three-point jumper, right? Defense late getting there.
You have to honor Betts on that low block.
Navarre, the freshman from Apex, North Carolina. McDonald's All-America a year ago. 20th rated player coming out of high school. 25-18. Tell you what, if I was gifted, I'd play for Stanford. If I had the grades.
Well, talking about gifted, there is Haley Jones, such a gifted passer. She saw that play before it opened up and created an open, easy layup for her teammate.
Jones now with 13. And another turnover against the Cougars. That's their 11th with 2:52 to go in the first half.
Haley Jones, just so prolific in transition. That didn't look like it was open at all, but Brooke Dimitri with a nice backdoor cut, and Haley hit her in stride for an easy layup.
That's Magic Johnson right there, partner.
Tara talks a lot about it. Like, that passing is what makes Haley special. And so when she's in the open floor with the ball in her hands, it's a lot of fun to watch.
That was a spectacular pass. We brushed over it too quickly. Dimitri from downtown. Stanford up by 12.
Doing a nice job executing their offense. Dimitri has been playing some additional minutes over the last couple of games. She adds three-point shooting to this team.
Tahina's jump shot is off. Loose ball under the corner. Jones runs it down. Stanford with another chance up by 12. Dimitri just hit that three a moment ago. Motuga will be checking in for the Cougars. There's a catch by Betts. Actually slapped away off of Ledger Walker. Stanford basketball.
Great anticipation by Ledger Walker. She knew the pass was going to go in. Betts' post player defender was playing on the high side, so Ledger Walker came over to help, forcing that tip out of bounds.
Ledger Walker with 5 points, but she's had to earn them in this first half. 2 of 5. Stanford's been very physical with her. Here's the lob to Betts. Can't defend that. Mismatch inside. Throw it to the rim. Betts the catch and finish.
When you switch on the screen with Lauren Betts, she has such a size mismatch. It's tough to do anything about it. Great pass.
Cougars had gotten back within 6, and now Stanford on a 7-0 run with $1:30 to play in this first half. Wallach's jump shot in and out. Poked out to Tedar, and her shot for 3 is blocked. And back comes Stanford. Bagzanya with the foul, or with the block shot. Here's Jones. Minute 9, and the left hand goes. And Stanford's lead grows now, the largest of this first half at 34-18. Betts slapped it away. That pass had no chance to get to Motuga. Dimitri. Betts with the catch. 6'7", guarded by 6'3", Tara Wallach. Shot up and good. Betts with the scream after that shot.
Nice patient move by Lauren Betts on the block.
Two-time Colorado Gatorade Player of the Year. Less than a second between the two clocks, and Cammie Etheridge, I think, satisfied to let the clock drain, play for 1. Down 36-18. Stanford 9 of 12 in this quarter after the Cougars had climbed back in. Stanford put the clocks on them again. 3 on the shot clock. Tedar's got to go. They won't get it off. Motuga's shot would not have counted. 0.7 to go in this first half.
Great defense by Bosgana on that. They were running Tedar off of multiple screens. She got around the screen and was there on the pass to make sure she wasn't able to get a 3-point look.
So they'll inbound it. Jones with the heave. And hit the backboard. What a first half for Tara Vanderveer and the Stanford Cardinal.
Stanford ends up on an 11-0 run. Look at the stars right here. Haley Jones, Greg, you've been saying it all evening. Yeah. She's playing extremely well. It's good to see her getting going offensively. She's struggled the last couple of weeks, and she's getting to her spot today.
Yeah, Jones really set the tone early. Stanford missed their first 3 field goal attempts and then made 9 in a row. Charlize Ledger-Walker trying to do everything she can, but Stanford right now dominating the defensive end. Jones leading them offensively. What a start for Stanford. Cougars into 13 turnovers. Washington State shot 26% from the floor, and so number 2 Stanford with a 36-18. And look at that. All the way from Montana to meet a legend.
That's awesome.
And this is what the rest of the Pac-12 looks like. Tied at 66. Going to overtime. Utah, Oregon State. What an opportunity for the Beavers tonight.
Oregon State is one of those teams in the middle of the pack needing a big win. They're back at home against the 7th-ranked team in the country. That would be a big win if they can pull this out in overtime.
Obviously playing some defense, keeping Utah under 70 after regulation.
And then USC-Arizona, battle of 2 really good defensive teams. It's probably going to be a low-scoring game, 27-22 at the half.
All right, here we go. Cameron Brink on the floor for Stanford. Played just 10 minutes in that first half with those 2 personal fouls. The Polo's 3 is long, but again, wide open. Tedar up to Wallach, who was not ready. Hit her in the head. Bella Murikatete with it. Got inside, dumped it through.
It's one of those birthday gifts right there. That could have easily been a turnover, but they stayed with it, and a nice score by Murikatete to get them started here in the second half.
Brink the catch, went in deep. Lost the handle, fell to the floor, so did Murikatete. Wallach at Jones. Shot up and good.
Great
Cougars
start.
scored the first 4.
Great start by the Cougars.
And again, contact inside. Brink falling to the floor.
So Murikatete thought it was going to be on Brink, but it looks like Brink was fighting for a position on the low block. It looks like Bella got her arm a little bit and threw her to the floor. It might have embellished the contact a little bit, but the officials saw Brink off balance heading to the floor and called the foul on Bella Muricatete.
So that's number 2 on Muricatete.
So you called it in the first half. There was a lot of aggressive action between those two players. Let's take a look here in the second half. They're both battling on the below block, both trying to prove a point, and neither one going to back down.
Yeah, and both with 2 personal fouls now. Brink with the catch. Here's Hannah Jump, looking for her first 3 of the game.
That is
and there
pretty.
it is.
That is pretty. Quick release on that shot. That getting her feet set up and getting the shot off in less than a second. That was beautiful.
Stanford 67-4 in her career when she hits at least one. Tedar in the corner. Bounce. Bella Muricatete met by defense as Emma Nopu was there to contest but picks up the personal foul.
Nice pick and roll offense. Great screen by Muricatete right there. Emma Nopu comes over but is a little bit late in help as Muricatete takes it up strong.
So Bella at the free throw line, 73% shooter, averaging about 14 points a game. Now with 6 in this one.
Would love to see more of that from Bella, setting strong screens and then rolling quickly to the basket. She'll have a mismatch, particularly if she gets a good screen on the ball.
But look, if Washington State's going to get back into this, they got to do it on the defensive end. Got to force Stanford, stops and turnovers, right? Create some turnovers and runouts. But I'm not imagining that Haley Jones is going to allow that to happen easily. Missed the shot there, got to her spot and missed it. Letcher Walker with it. 5 points in that first half for the Cougars. Here's Wallach on the drive, got to the baseline, tried to reverse it, Brink with another block. I believe that's number 2 in the game. Jones with it. Home run pass to Jump. I think the fans were saying that Jones may have stepped on that end line. Brink's so good at this.
Again, coming over from help side, just being patient, and again, she's got such length and great timing. And it looks like Haley Jones was out of bounds, so on the line, but the officials didn't see it.
Yeah, just barely grazed, and there's the off.
They have been on screens. 2 screens trying to get Hannah Jump open on flare screens, and they're in the elevator screen.
That's number 3 on Cameron. And look, you and I talked prior to this game. If Washington State could somehow get Cameron Brink on the bench with foul trouble, they might have a chance. They've got that part down. They got to quit doing that, though, turning the ball over. Hannah Jump. 14 turnovers now for Washington State. They're going to kick themselves.
A little bit of a kind of a matchup zone, backing off of the perimeter players and trying to take away the paint.
Tedar, Wallach can't reel it in. Jump was there defensively. Another turnover against the Cougars, their 15th.
It's a good idea. Just she saw Wallach running open a little bit late and got her ball a little bit late.
Jump tried to go back door. Tedar was chasing, and another whistle.
3 seconds.
And a 3-second call against Stanford. And that's turnover number 10 for them.
One of the things that Washington State is doing is, again, their perimeter players are backing off of Stanford's guards, clogging up the paint, and so very often had a mismatch on the block, wanted the ball, but it's difficult to get a passing angle to get her the ball in the low block.
That's Angela Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, breaking it down for you. Bella trying to create position, but Erie Hoffman with the defense. That was tremendous.
Great post defense by Erie Hoffman.
And now Stanford, 2 of 5 in this third quarter. Kiki, turnaround won't go, but Nopu crashed the board.
No box out by Washington State.
Ledger Walker with the deflection. And that's off of Stanford, Washington State basketball.
You're Washington State. Stanford does such a great job crashing the offensive boards. Haley Jones is a great offensive rebounder. They have so much size. You have to box out. You cannot just turn and look at the ball and hope that you are able to be in position to get the rebound.
And you can tell Stanford's #1 job defensively was to try to make it really hard for Charlize Ledger-Walker. Coming off a game in which she scored just 5 points, Washington State won. Motuga's 3.
Great pass by Tahina there. And she had to do a little signal to Motuga to take the shot. Motuga's one of those players that is pass first, but they're going to need her scoring in the second half to chip away at this lead.
Yeah, her 19th 3 of the season. Motuga can connect from downtown. 15 on the shot clock. To the post. Iriafen. Oh! Bella takes the charge. May have been a flop.
Great position by Bella. She was in position. She had her footwork in line. She embellished it a little bit and sold it to the ref, but she was in position.
Take another look there. I guess there was a lot of contact.
Iriafen might have dipped the shoulder just a little bit.
Ledger-Walker. To the post. Bella. Charlize running through with it. Tahina now. 9 on the shot clock. Bella will drive right at Iriafen. Wild shot up. And no good. Jones near side pass. Dimitri to the post. Iriafen the catch. This third quarter's been on the post, ladies and gentlemen. What a rebound by Bella Murukatete. Ledger-Walker into the paint. Tahina turned down the 3.
Defense by Stanford.
Ledger-Walker's shot is off. Tapped out of play. Should be Stanford ball, and it is.
That was great transition defense. It was a 3-on-2 break. Stanford got back, protected the paint, forced Ledger-Walker to have to pull it out and run offense.
And it's obvious both teams wanting the ball offensively down on that post. Sarver into the game for Washington State. Here comes Jessica Clark as well. Navarre on the floor for Stanford. So is number 51, Lauren Betts. Tara Vanderveer loves to use that bench. I think she's already got 12 players on the floor. Jones wanting a foul.
12
we'll have
players
to live with a jump shot.
Exactly. 12 players, but the key player, Haley Jones, continues to find the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah, Haley now with 13 points, 6 of 11, but also 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Motuga's 3. Betts, 6'7". Now watch her run the floor. Setting the screen for Jones. Betts can't reel it in. Tahina with it for the Cougars.
Tough angle for Betts. She had post position, but that was a tough angle to make that pass.
And now 13 turnovers for Stanford. Washington State only converting those 13 to 8 points. Clark can't grab the rebound. It'll be Stanford ball when we come back. Cardinal up 44-27, 4:08 to play in the third quarter, and Haley Jones playing like the All-American that she is. 2 more, 13 in this game. And welcome back. Angela, tell us how good Cameron Brink is.
Cameron Brink is special. Again, has a chance to be one of the best players in Stanford history. And one of the things that makes her so special is her ability to block shots. Triple-double last weekend, 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 blocks. Her defensive aggression and screening has gotten her on the bench today, but she's such a dynamic player.
And frustrated in this game, playing just 12 minutes with foul trouble. Of course, Sabrina, we'll never forget her, will we?
Well, last week was a special moment for Cameron Brink, but Sabrina had 16 of them, and her last 2 seasons, a total of 26 over her career. Pretty special player.
And look, Haley Jones down there with 1 as well. And of course, those are All-Americans on the Stanford team for the first time
Well, in the college game, yeah. Well, 40 minutes, it's tough to get a triple-double.
Yes, that's true. And with block shots, just a dominant player. Betts, is she the next dominant post for Tara Vanderveer? Jump, catch and shoot. Pretty shot, pretty result.
Great play by Stanford. Good patience offensively. Jump is so exceptional coming off those screens and getting her footwork set.
Well, she's big, 6 feet, right? Catch and shoot. Feet are ready before she catches it. Quick release. And the results. At Stanford now, their largest lead up to 20. Otuga has it blocked by Betts. 6'7". Hard to get it to the rim in there.
Presence on the block. Again, good job by Betts, just staying straight up, not using the body.
Jones had to go to the floor. Preserves the possession. Navarre with it. Dimitri. Betts can't bring that one in. Off the hands. Tough pass. I guess that was off Jessica Clark, wasn't it?
Yeah, great idea by Navarre. Betts with a nice cut to the basket, but Jessica Clark just caught the ball with her fingertips.
2:59 to play in this third. Greg Heistra, Angela Taylor. Stanford has defeated the Cougars 71 consecutive times. Betts with 2 more.
It's going to be difficult to stop Betts if you're playing behind her defensively. They tried to come over the double. She's got so much size.
Sarver's jump shot is off. Navarre with the handle. To the post. Betts with the catch. You're back to Beasley Coliseum. Greg Heister, Angela Taylor. We're just talking about how good Stanford is defensively. It really makes it hard for an opposing team's offense to get the ball where they want it because of the length.
Stanford has so much size at every position, and that allows them to not have to be aggressive on ball. They can back off and still clog up passing lanes.
There's Wallach inside. 6 on the shot clock. Ledger Walker. Hanging in the air will shoot free throws. Foul called on the freshman India Navarre.
Aggressive attack off the dribble by Ledger Walker. It's fading away. Navarre reached in, but look to see Ledger Walker be a little bit aggressive, get the ball in her hands, and just try to attack the paint and see what she can create either for herself or for her teammates.
Charlize with 5 points, 2 of 7, 4 rebounds. The Stanford defense has just made it so difficult for everybody really on this Washington State offense. I've been really impressed by Stanford. This is the first time I've seen them in person this season, Angela. Their length with their defense just really imposing. Another chance for the Cougars here, though. Wallach on the baseline. Tahina lines up the 3. Betts and Jones can keep it in play. Cougar basketball.
They didn't get the result they wanted on that Tahina 3, but that's the type of offense the Cougars need to play. Attack the paint, make the extra pass, get Stanford's defense moving, and create an open look.
Glazer with the catch. 1:45 to play in this third. Ledger Walker at Betts. Glazer missed the putback. Jones clears it for Stanford.
Great job attacking the offensive glass by Glazer. Just didn't get the putback to go.
Jones. Boy, she just plays with such composure. Obviously got herself into a bad spot right there, but able to grab the ball, make the easy play, keep the possession. Dimitri shot for 3 is off. Wallach with it. Otuga sets the screen. Ledger Walker. Glazer 3 is well short. Wallach, the offensive rebound. Now Otuga's shot is long. Tahina runs it down. Got it to Charlize Ledger Walker.
No box outs from Stanford. Tar will not be happy about that.
Otuga the catch. Careful in there. Glazer over Betts.
Glazer coming right in off the bench and being active offensively. Her teammates looking for her, and she's not shying away from taking open opportunities.
And smart enough to release away from the bucket so that Betts couldn't get a hand on it.
And when you're sitting on the bench, you get a first-hand look at the size of the Stanford team.
That's true. Lauren, 6'7" freshman from Centennial, Colorado. Jones's shot is short. Haley without a point here in the third quarter. 13 in the game. And Ledger Walker now content to drain the clock. Washington State will play for one. Charlize the drive at Dimitri. Got inside, but left it short. Jones clears it. And now Stanford with a chance. Here's the heave. Jones was knocked to the floor. No whistle. As she looks to the official, but it's 51-30. Stanford up big. We go to the fourth in Pullman. And welcome back. Here's today's jockey difference maker, Haley Jones.
Haley's passing is so phenomenal. You see right here on the backdoor pass to Dimitri, there's a subtle move that she makes, just a little bit of hesitation. Defense thinks that she's pulling it out, and she knows exactly what she's going to do. The best passers have a great sense of timing, some confidence to make the pass when it doesn't look like it's open, and the ability to take a risk. They're not always going to complete the pass, but they're willing to risk it.
Yeah, the courage to make that play, but man, to knife that pass to the post to a moving player. And look, we had a great angle. There was no space.
There was traffic. There was traffic that she saw through.
Haley Jones, just a privilege to watch play basketball. Tahina now working on Hannah jump. Wallach with it. Laser. That shot short over Cameron Brink, who's back on the floor for Stanford, and a foul called on Tara Wallach. As Jones slow to get up, but appears to be okay.
Wallach got called for the foul, but you appreciate the hustle.
Yeah, down by 21. One thing that we've learned about Cammie Etheridge and her tenure here at Washington State, her teams don't give up. They will continue to battle you.
Well, and honestly, for Washington State, you're not just playing for this game. You're playing for down the road and trying to get into the tournament, building good habits.
Laser off the backboard. And look, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Stanford as they begin this four-game road swing here in Pac-12 play. They came to Pullman, Brink for two off the left hand, but they set the tempo and the tone from the opening tip in this game. They were going to be the more physical team.
Yeah, Washington State went out to the early lead, but Stanford, again, is going to rely on their depth and their strength and their size and be imposing, use that size as imposing force.
Jump three is off. Dimitri the rebound.
Brink was calling for the ball on the low block. She's a little bit frustrated, hasn't been on the floor for much of this game, really wants the ball.
And played for just 12 minutes before this run here. Has her shot blocked. Good defense inside by Washington State.
Shot blockers don't like to get blocked.
Laser missed it. Dimitri clears it. Jones with 3 assists in this game, looking for more, and a foul called against the Cougars. Boy, history could be made this year in this conference.
Special group. Right now, Charlie Cream has 8 Pac-12 teams making it into the tournament, with Washington State right now with a 10 seed. So sitting at 5-5 in the conference, they want to be at or above 500 in the conference to try to get as best a seed as they could. And I wouldn't doubt that all of these teams get into the tournament.
I think certainly Washington State is good enough. They've been in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years, first time in the program's history. They played back-to-back tournaments. It's virtually the same team. Crystal Ledger-Walker not here this year. Of course, lost her to graduation. But when this Cougar team is on, it's really good.
The tournament is about guard play. And Charlize Ledger-Walker is one of the best guards in the country. We've talked all game about what she does for this team. Would love to see her in the NCAA tournament against some of the best teams in the country, just so that people can see how special she is as well.
Charlize. Of course, she missed 4 Pac-12 games because of a family emergency in which she had to go home to New Zealand to deal with. Possession will remain with Washington State, but those 4 games that they missed, Cougars lost on their home floor. And that's the tough part, because those are 4 games they could have won, and now they've got to go on the road and play those 14 yet.
Right. In fact, against Utah, they had a chance to win with 10 seconds. Ula Matiga had a great look at 3.
Murukatete can't finish. Another chance. She's on the floor. Brink trying to get it from her. Here's Wallach. There, the drive right at Cameron. Another block. Boy, she has great anticipation when the ball leaves an offensive player's hands, and so quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of post players that have great size, but they don't have the sense of timing or footwork that we see with Cameron Brink. Again, Wallach doing a great job attacking the paint, and Brink gets it out of her hand. It wasn't in her hand. She got that ball on the upswing.
Yeah, so quick to react and put herself in position to block that shot, and foul called on the floor against Bella Murukatete.
Again, Murukatete, a little too physical, was using her two hands in the back of Brink as opposed to using that forearm.
That's number 4 on Bella. It appears she's going to stay in the game right now. Boy, there's a nice off-balance finish by Lapolo.
Lapolo's done a nice job as a freshman. In order for them to go where they want to go, she's going to have to continue to be aggressive offensively.
Ledger Walker. Wallach turned down the 3. Charlize. Navarre with the rebound. Tahina too physical. And that stops the clock with 6 minutes 44 seconds to play.
The right idea there by Tahina. You don't want to let Stanford go unabated in transition. You want to try to stop their transition offense by slowing the ball handle down. Got a little bit too aggressive there on Navarre.
Tara Vanderveer, in my discussion with her today, talked about her team. She really likes it. And obviously she's got these 2 All-Americans that are kind of the nucleus of the whole thing. The rest of the team is kind of young. She thinks maybe they're not quite as good as they're going to be at this point right now. That throughout the rest of January and February, this team could be a lot different come March.
Stanford lost a lot of talent last year. Anna Wilson, point guard, and the whole Twins. And so they're starting to develop some younger players.
Like that one. Navarre missed the 3. Another chance. You know, Lexi and Lacey Hull. And of course you brought up Anna Wilson as well. But man, they were physical, tough, defensive, but could score. They were kind of what Tara Vanderveer is as a coach.
One of the things that they brought to the table was that extra thing that doesn't show up in the box score. The hustle plays, getting on the floor for loose balls, getting steals, getting rebounds. And Stanford's going to need to find those type of players who are going to do those little things that you don't get a lot of credit or acknowledgement for.
Yeah. Here comes Haley Jones back on the floor.
Over the course of the last couple of weeks, one of the things that Tara has done is she is going much deeper into her bench. They're playing 4 guards and Cameron Brink at the center, and that's allowed them to play a few more of the guards, get them some experience, which they're going to need. Guard play in the tournament is very important.
Well, look, watching them at shoot-around today, this team is deep. And there's a lot of great players that aren't getting a lot of minutes right now for Stanford, and that's part of the process that I think that Coach Vanderveer was talking about.
Yeah, speaking of great players, that was a great post move by Charlize Ledger Walker right there.
Jones. Betts. Turnaround drops. She's got skill. She's not just 6'7".
Right. Well, and having depth is a gift and a curse. It's nice for coaches to be able to go to any player on any given night, but also for those players who aren't getting a lot of time to keep them involved and keep them excited about an opportunity to play.
Long 3 off by Ledger Walker. Dennar saved it. Chance for Washington State down 61-34. And let's talk about depth. And most coaches talk about wanting it, needing it, but it also seems that oftentimes by the time you get to the NCAA tournament, you've kind of trimmed the roster down to 7 or 8, maybe 9 players that will play.
Yeah, your rotation, once you get to the tournament, you might play 8 or 9 players at best. You want to decrease that roster, know what your lineups are going to be, and if you have depth, you're able to switch it depending on the matchup. If you're playing a team that has a lot of bigs, you can go big. If you have some great guards, you're going to need handlers on the floor.
4:10 to play in Pullman. Stanford leads at 61-34. Well, ladies and gentlemen, every night really tough in the Pac-12. This with 10 seconds to play in Corvallis. The Beavers forced overtime. Utah went to work, and they win it in overtime. This Utah team is legit. 75-72 winners. Number 7 in the country. I love their offense, but you saw some defense there, too, to win it.
Great defense. Gianna Neekins is one of the best sophomores in the Pac-12. Made 2 big plays with a layup and then a nice block. They've had a lot of experience coming down to the wire, and they have shown up, pulling out 2 overtime victories. They had a close one up here in the Palouse earlier on in the Pac-12 season. Utah is seasoned, and they're tested, and they're ready to make a run in the NCAA tournament.
And they're one of those teams that can explode on you offensively as well. And so this conference is something else, I got to tell you. You know, Colorado can put size on the floor and play physically. Believe you.
Beautiful pass by Lauren Betts there. Not only can she score on a low block, but she's got a great sense of awareness and a beautiful pass to Believy on the cut.
Yeah, great feel. Great job by Fran Believy to cut to the bucket. And Curvis can't reel it in. No poop. There's Navarre. Betts wanting it. And Curvis there defensively. Tahina with the dig. Got it out of her hands. Navarre faked the pass. Drive down the lane, poked out of there by Sarver. Stanford got it back. We've seen like 3 turnovers and it hasn't left the half court. And there's the 3 with 1 on the shot clock.
Great patience offensively. Got a little bit sloppy there, but they stuck with it and got Bogdana for an open look. Yeah,
Elena Bogdana. First player in this program's history from Europe, which is hard to believe, really. The laser shot, jump shot is off Believy with the rebound.
Appreciate this Stanford offense. You can tell they're trying to get the ball inside the Lauren Betts. She's working extremely hard. They're trying to get her the ball on the block.
Stick with the plan. India Navarre.
Navarre stepped in a couple of games ago where Lopolo hurt her ankle, and she's played well and has proven to Tar that she's earning some minutes and getting into the lineup.
This is Gardner, step back over Believy.
Gardner,
Bakira.
One of those prolific scorers that once she gets an opportunity to get on the court, she's going to be another special player for Washington State.
Yeah, former Washington State Gatorade Player of the Year. Timeout on the floor. $1:56 to play. So it looks like Stanford's going to run it to 72-0 against Washington State. And I know, coaches, they don't like these streaks. They all come to an end eventually. Every one of them does.
They do, particularly when you think that streak is going to win you the ball game.
Yeah.
You have to come in, you have to be prepared, and you have to play the game.
Lauren Green, number 31 on the floor. So is Stavi Papadaki, another freshman from Greece. Betts the catch. Missed it. Dan Curvis. Here's Gardner. Minute 25 to play. Gardner for 3. That's off. Betts the rebound. Stanford will go to Seattle now. Minute 5 to go. Papadaki into the corner. Boy, that's a good-looking player there. I was watching that shot and that release at shoot-around today. She's going to be a good one.
Bogdanas, there's something about a lefty.
Yes.
Right? Their three-point jumpers are just so beautiful and pure.
But she didn't miss much today at shoot-around. And she's
really confident player, getting more time as the season goes along.
She's 3 for 3 in the game, 2 for 2 from behind that three-point line for 8 points.
Another in the long line of three-point shooters with the Stanford team.
15 players now for the Cardinal have got into this game. Tara Vanderveer. Experience. The process continues for a team ranked number 2 in the country. But I'm not sure, as an offensive rebound results in a bucket for the Cougars, I'm not sure we've seen Stanford at their best yet.
They're still working on it. You can tell, again, we talked about how much they lost last year. They're trying to replace some of that veteran leadership that they had last season and still try to get their offense going. Their offense hasn't been as fluid as we've seen in the past.
Denia Harrell with it for the Cardinal. 20 seconds to play. Harrell at the free throw line. There's a turnover.
What I appreciate about Washington State, 12 seconds left in the game, still playing hard, still playing great defense, and that's what you want as a coaching staff. You want to see those players that you put in at the end of the game playing hard.
Cardinal are going to get to 22-2. This will be their 10th play. They're going to be 10-1. Of course, their only blemish, that loss against USC back on the 15th of January, 55-46 loss. Their only other loss against South Carolina back at the early part of the season. They lost in overtime to a Gamecocks team that is still kind of pacing the country.
Yeah, South Carolina, Don Staley has that team rolling. Aaliyah Boston is a special player, again, one of the most dominant bigs in the country, and seen a lot of guard play. Stanford and UCLA, who played South Carolina early on in the season, they both played them tough and were leading in the second half, but they weren't able to pull it out.
Here's what's up next for Washington State as their record drops to 5-6. It's Cal on Sunday. We'll be here for that call. And then they've got to go to Colorado, at Utah. They've got Oregon and Oregon State left. Every game tough in this league. It
does not get any easier for Washington State.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Stanford proving that they are one of the best teams in this country tonight. Cameron Brink, a lot of foul trouble in the game for her, but Haley Jones picked up the slack. 13 points in that first half. She finished with 13. And Stanford with a 71-38 victory on the road. For Angela Taylor, I'm Greg Heister. Good night from the Beasley Coliseum.
A little bit, but let's take you to the Palouse. Tara Vanderveer and second-ranked Stanford Cardinal taking on the Cougs. Haley Jones.
Ashley, Haley Jones get to her sweet spot.
Yeah, and she did a few times in this game. Stanford up 10 in the early going. They've never lost to Washington State. Not once have they slipped up. Charlize Ledger-Walker, 8 points, 2 steals, 6 rebounds. No one in double figures for Cammie Etheridge.
Yeah, I think just a little bit of a let up coming off the huge win at U of A. Never really in this game. So Washington State really needs to regroup. Huge team win for Stanford. Yeah. Everybody plays, 11 players score. Lauren Betts, huge game off the bench.
And Jones hitting the tough
Sweet spot.
Yeah, she had 13 points. Nobody had more than that. 4 assists, 9 rebounds, so just shy of another double-double. You mentioned Lauren Betts. She had 10 points in this one. Stanford wins big, 71-38. Cam Brink, by the way, she had a triple-double with blocks last game out. She had only 2 blocks in this one, so a little bit off of her regular average. She's 5 blocks shy of setting Stanford's career block records. But yeah, Haley Jones, the leading scorer, and she spoke with our crew after the game.
13 points. You got off to a great start in that first half. Kind of set the tone for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, Tara said to get the pull-up working, and it was working, so we just kept getting to it, and I think people really stepped up today. You know, Cam got in foul trouble early, and she stuck with it at the end of the game, but, you know, Lauren Betts came in and had great contributions, the same as Kiki and India. Really proud of them today.
Well, Haley, you said you got the pull-up working. So a couple of weeks ago, right, USC, they were laying off you, baiting you into taking that shot. And the last couple of weeks, it looks like you're being really aggressive from the elbow. Like, what is going through your mind in these games as teams try to defend you?
Yeah, I think that's always been my shot. And if teams are going to give it to me, then I'm just going to continue to take it. I think at the beginning of the season of Pac-12 and things like that, I was just being hesitant and lost a bit of my confidence. So, you know, it's getting in the gym, taking extra rips, having conversations with Tara, seeing where to get to my spots. And that's my shot, so I'm going to continue to take it.
For whatever it's worth, you're a pleasure to watch.
Thank you.
Thanks
appreciate it. Thanks.
Good job.
Always love a post-game interview with Haley Jones. They need to get her a big girl chair, though. I think, were they making her sit on the floor?
You know, if I was interviewing her, I would like that chair because I'd probably still be looking up at her. She had a lot of mudite there. That was fun.
She ddid. And we talked to her the other day. She is a joy to watch and a joy to cover. There's no doubt about it. You don't take any of those games that you get to watch a player like her for granted. 72-0 all-time Stanford is against Washington State. That's one of the more remarkable stats when you think about Stanford's dominance over the years. But what did you see from Tara's team tonight? Because you mentioned it. It was a complete team win.
Well, again, and Haley touched on it with Tara kind of adjusting some things. Ever since that USC loss, Tara went back into the laboratory and she has tweaked their offense and really has Haley playing more at the 4 spot. And she's getting that real low rub on ball screen where a 5 is stepped down. It's a hard switch. So they've done a lot of things to not only help Haley, you know, get going and be more effective, but then also Lopolo getting hurt, I think, has really helped Navarre and other players on Stanford's bench be more confident, get reps, gain equity with Tara, which is important. Yep. From any coach.
Yeah.
So lots of really good things happening on that Stanford squad right now.
It's an embarrassment of riches.